The latest Netflix hit features a host of stunning actors, so it's no wonder that they had loads of fun after meeting on the set. But they also faced quite a few surprises. From Leonardo DiCaprio saving his dog from a freezing lake and Jonah Hill annoying his co-stars to Merrill Streep getting called a goat, let's find out all the behind-the-scenes secrets from Don't Look Up. Leonardo DiCaprio. While they were shooting next to a freezing lake, the craziest thing happened. Leo's two huskies were nearby, and the actor was terrified when he saw that one of them had fallen into the water. Naturally, the actor rushed to save his beloved pet.
He jumped into the frozen lake to save the dog, and as soon as he pushed the one dog out of the pond, the other one jumped in.
And eventually, it all turned into a freezingly funny activity.
Well, the other one started licking the one that was drowning.
Oh,
and then we all
sweet.
were in the frozen lake together.
As if by miracle, no one caught a cold. Of course, it wasn't the only highlight of DiCaprio's work on the film. When Leo was offered the role, he fell in love with the movie premise straight away. We all know DiCaprio is an environmental activist, and Don't Look Up basically addresses climate change. The film calls for a sense of urgency with its theme of a planet-killing comet heading for Earth. I also love the way he was just incredibly truthful about how we're so immensely distracted from the truth nowadays, the actor said about the director, Adam McKay. It was certainly an honor for DiCaprio to be in a film that handles this kind of a storyline, and Leo was also happy to work with Jennifer Lawrence. He called her one of the most talented actors of our time and praised her ability to improvise. But there was one scene that made DiCaprio uncomfortable, and it had to do with Merrill Streep. But we'll get back to that later. Now let's talk about Jennifer Lawrence. Don't Look Up was her first film after returning from a hiatus.
Yeah, the world should take a break.
Do you know what the most exciting thing on set was for Jennifer? No, it wasn't rapping the Wu-Tang Clan song. In fact, Jennifer hated that part. What she loved the most was meeting her celebrity icon, Ariana Grande. Turns out Lawrence is a huge fan of her music. It was overwhelming. I just felt like a radio contest winner. I didn't know how to talk to her, so I just did my best, the actress told Collider. Wow, who would have thought? But of course it wasn't all fun and games because Jennifer also had her share of struggles. Early on in production, the actress happened to lose a tooth. I couldn't go to the dentist until the end of the movie, so I had to film most of the movie toothless, she shared. It must have been quite tough. Another struggle came with the nose ring Jen had to wear for the film. It was a magnet, and Lawrence somehow swallowed it a few times. And the worst part was that as she was trying to get it out of her throat, she'd have Leo DiCaprio looking at her.
It did happen a couple times, didn't it? And I never understood what the hell was going on.
But the hardest thing for Jen was filming scenes with Jonah Hill. The actor's a comedic mastermind, and Lawrence just couldn't keep a straight face around him. According to Jen, she ruined take after take with her laughter. Well, no one was angry about that, I'm sure. And speaking of the devil, Jonah Hill. It turns out that Lawrence wasn't the only actress who couldn't stop laughing at him. Meryl Streep also said his jokes were funny, albeit slightly annoying. She felt like she didn't have any control over herself and had to break character often. On top of that, there was a misunderstanding between Hill and Streep. It's quite a weird one, but we'll get back to it later, so stay tuned. For Hill, being in Don't Look Up was sort of a reunion, because it's his third time co-starring opposite Leonardo DiCaprio. In case you forgot, the previous times were in The Wolf of Wall Street and Django Unchained. And of course, both actors were thrilled to work together again. DiCaprio even said he'd like to co-star with Hill in 100 more films. We all wish for it to happen. For Jonah, making the film was a great experience, as he got to work with some of the best actors ever.
Dealing with some of these issues that have been massive, where it's kind of denial of science, let's say.
Besides, in an interview with director Adam McKay, the actor said Don't Look Up is the perfect movie for the weird times we live in. And now we're moving on to a very unprofessional journalist from the film, played by Tyler Perry. Although he liked being in Don't Look Up, one of the scenes made him feel uncomfortable. It was the one from the Oval Office, where the astronomers try to convey the seriousness of the issue while the president couldn't care less about it. That to me was just very much ringing true because of what's happening, especially at the time. And the country where we were with the pandemic and things just being dismissed, Perry commented. He's certainly right, that scene did look pretty realistic. But in reality, it doesn't look that funny, unfortunately. Anyway, Perry did a great job of portraying his character, although he did worry a bit about working alongside all those superstars. Thankfully, he managed to find a way to keep calm around him.
I have kept reminding myself, just stay in the moment, stay in the moment. Don't look at them as these incredible superstars, but just look at them as their characters. So it's really great.
That's actually a great method to avoid getting starstruck. And now let's talk about Tyler's on-screen co-host, Cate Blanchett. Playing a so-called model of artificiality with bleached hair, blinding teeth, and impossibly bronzed skin was quite creepy for the actress, especially when she had to wash all that makeup off and could see a whole lot of sludge going down the drain. It's quite confronting, Blanchett shared about it. The actress herself is very concerned about environmental issues. That's why she loved being part of the Don't Look Up cast. According to Cate, the film shows, among other things, how important it is for us to choose the right president. And of course, it's a bonus that it allows us to laugh at such serious matters. That's what's good about Adam's film. You have to laugh, the actress said. She's obviously right. But not everything on the set was a laughing matter. It turns out that one of the actors created misery for another co-star. I'm talking about Timothée Chalamet. Jennifer Lawrence said that the scene where she had to ride in a car with Chalamet and DiCaprio was annoying as hell.
They drove me crazy that day. I don't know what it was.
And Timothy was part of the reason why. Lawrence said it was all because the young actor was excited to finally be out of the house. He'd been sitting at home throughout most of the pandemic, and his scene in Don't Look Up was his first since then.
Leo was had picked the song that was playing in the car and was just like, this song was about, blah, blah, blah.
The other thing that annoyed Jennifer about Timothy was even more surprising. She felt fat around him.
I'm fatter than Timothée Chalamet. That was harrowing.
Well, she shouldn't be so hard on herself. Or perhaps Jen is just joking and she actually had a great time with Timothy. But unfortunately, Chalamet himself didn't comment on any of this. Finally, let's talk about everyone's favorite actress, Meryl Streep. She was happy to be in Don't Look Up simply because of its director, Adam McKay. It turns out that Meryl's a huge fan of his films, since they always make her laugh so hard. It's no wonder then that Meryl was ready for whatever challenges the film threw her way. Here's what I'm talking about now. There was a mere second in Don't Look Up where we saw Streep's character naked. In reality, it wasn't Meryl herself, but a body double. But still, seeing this scene made Leonardo DiCaprio uncomfortable. He even asked the director if they really needed it. The thing is, to him, Meryl Streep is film royalty, and he thought it was beneath her to go nude in a film. But Streep herself couldn't care less. She didn't even blink, she didn't even bring it up, director Adam McKay commented. All because she's a great actress. Although Meryl didn't really perceive herself that way when she joined the cast. When the production of Don't Look Up began, Streep felt like she'd forgotten how to act. It was all because she spent so much time at home during the lockdown. I just lost it. I forgot how to act. I forgot what I was about. It sort of dismantles your humanity to be isolated like that, Meryl confessed. But surely she could never actually forget. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle for her, right? For all of Streep's co-stars, she's always been the best. But one of them paid her a compliment she didn't understand at first. In many interviews, Jonah Hill said that to him, Meryl Streep was something unexpected.
I keep saying, oh, and getting to work with Meryl, she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT, right?
When Streep heard that, she didn't even know what to think. She only wondered why Hill was calling her a GOAT all week. She only found out later that this word was an acronym, and a huge compliment.
Which, if stands for greatest of all time, right?
But you know the best thing? Meryl was never offended by this word, even when she still didn't know what it meant. Well, she truly is the greatest of all time. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe because we have lots of other interesting stuff. And stay awesome!